Okay, all right. So for today, which is day 2 of the brand new unit, unit 10, we are going to take all those definitions yesterday and just practice like that. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, all right. Now, I might have, now that I'm thinking about it, because I found this video on YouTube. It's about 10, 11 minutes long that I thought would be good to use as a review, but I might make it optional for everyone because I don't want to make you watch something that you already understood. So the way I want to use the time is maybe I'll make this optional. Hold on, let me write that down then. All right, I'll make that video optional. And then what I'm gonna do is have you guys watch this, what I'm doing right now, as we're going over it. Okay, I think that might be better. We'll see, we'll see. All right. Okay. Now, again, I'm just gonna go right into practice. Okay, so again, if you're not entirely familiar with the terminology, the vocabulary of this particular unit so far, I would suggest you either watch this video or watch the one I made yesterday. Okay, I think you're gonna win out on this one because this one's only 10 minutes. The one yesterday is 20 minutes. Okay, now I'm just gonna go. We're gonna try these two. All right, the first one, the second column, and then answer all of these questions. All right, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, all right, that's it. Moving on. Now let's see. There's your statement. Is this mathematical statement an expression or an equation? What do you think? Expression or equation? Right, equation, right? How many terms are there? One, two, three. All right. What's the leading term? The leading term is this. Remember what I said about the leading term? The term with the highest exponent? Right here. This little 2 right here. I hope you guys can see this. Right? So what's the leading term? Negative 2x squared. You got to take the negative with you. Okay? All right. What's the degree? Second degree or 2? All right. What's the coefficient of the lowest variable term? What's the lowest variable term? Right here, right? X. What's the coefficient there in front of the X? Yeah, 1, right? The invisible 1. What's the constant? Positive 3. And lastly, write it in standard form. So remember what I said about the standard form, right? The it's the term with the highest exponential power, right? So this one comes first. So y equals, I'm going to write this first, negative 2x squared, right? Second highest term is plus x. Last term is plus 3. That's it. So that is your expression equation in standard form. Okay? All right, let me switch colors. What about this one, right? Looking at this, right? Is it an expression or an equation? Yeah, expression, right? How many terms are there? Let's see. Now, here I'm looking to make sure they don't have terms that we can combine, but this one doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 terms here, right? What's the leading term? Now, which is the term with the highest coefficient? Right? So let's see. This one right here. So the leading term is 4x to the 4th. So far, so good? Yeah. All right. What's the degree? All right. We look at this number right here. So that's fourth degree. What's the coefficient of the lowest term? Variable term. What's the lowest variable term? It's this one, right? What's the coefficient? 2. All right. What's the constant? Negative 2. Right? Constant is the one where there's only the number, right? I'll write in standard form. All right, this is not in standard form yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order them. I'm going to rank order them, okay? So 4x to the 4th, that's the first term. So I'm going to write that first. Now, who has the second highest powered term? This one right here. 2, right? So that's 3x plus 3x to the 3rd. Third highest term is the one with the second power, right? So negative 6x squared. And then we got this 4th term, right? It's just x to the 1st. So plus 2x. And lastly, we have minus 2. Like that. Okay? That's it. Now, I can double check. And how can I double check? I look at the degrees. Right? So here I got 4th degree, 3rd degree, 2nd degree, 1st degree, right? The invisible 1, and the 0th degree. Right? Remember that. Okay? So we'll save this one for class. Okay? All right. Moving on. Is there anything else? Nope. All right, moving on. All right, now here, what we're gonna do is this. Uh, I'm gonna have a series of questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I got 8 questions for you guys. Man, must be spring or something. All right, okay. Now let's see. All right. So for this one, number 1, right? Is this an expression or equation? Yep, expression, right? Um, is it in standard form? Write that in standard form. It's already in standard form. So I'm just gonna rewrite this. Yeah. Number of terms, there are 3 terms here. What's the leading term? This one, right? The leading term is the guy with the highest power. All right, think of it like that. Leading coefficient, all right? So out of this term, leading term, what's the coefficient? 19. And then what's degree? Right, highest degree is 3, so it's a third degree of 3. Constant, what's the constant? There's no constant. All right, there's no single number here. Or you can say 0. All right, actually is not no constant. I think it's constant is 0. Okay. Polynomial. Is it a polynomial? Yeah, it is, right? Now, remember, what makes a polynomial? No what? Yeah, no variable in the denominator and what? No fractional exponents. All right, remember that? Okay, all right. Now let me switch colors. Let's do a couple more of these and then we'll move on, okay? All right, number 2, right? Again, expression and equation. Yep, expression. By the way, if you want to pause, I would highly recommend, especially if you're at home, okay? Because you really need to practice when you're at home, especially. So press pause right now and maybe answer each of these questions like this, okay? Because you guys really have to practice a little bit with this. All right, standard form. All right, let's write this in standard forms. I'm going to evaluate the exponents. So that's 6, 4, 2, 1. So that's the order I'm going to write it, okay? So negative 6x to the 6, right? The second highest power is positive 5x to the 4th, followed by negative 24x squared, followed by 7x. That's it, okay? Now, what other questions do I have to answer? Number of terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 terms. What's the leading term? Right, this guy right here, negative 6x to the 6. What's the leading coefficient? Negative 6, right? That's from this. Degrees, what degree is that? 6 degree, so 6 degree is 6. Constant, is there a constant here? Nope, so 0. And the polynomial. Let's see. Polynomial. Is it polynomial? Yep. Yes, you bet. Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. I gotta check something. All right. I just had to do a little research whether 0 in an expression like this, right? Whether 0 can be considered as a constant. Found a lot of very smart people answering this question, and the answer generally is yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on. Now what now? Next question. All right. Number 3. Now here, slightly tricky because you got to add these two first. Okay, so that's 50x to the third plus 42x. So let's answer those questions, all right? Expression of equation, expression, standard form. Yeah, that's in standard form already. So, hold on. All right, because I already simplify it, right? By combining like terms. How many number of terms? There are 2 terms here. What's the leading term? 50x to the third. What's the leading coefficient? 50. What's the degree? It's a third degree, right? Cubic expression, right? What else? Constant, 0, and then polynomial. Is it a polynomial? Yes. Okay? All right, now, given the time, let's go over a couple of regions questions, and then the rest of these, I'll just put them in the do now. Okay? All right, so let's check out number 1. An expression of the fifth degree is written with a leading coefficient of 7 and a constant of 6. Okay, constant of 6. So I gotta look out for something at the end where it says plus 6 at the end. All right. Now, leading coefficient of 7. So that means it'll be 7x something with the largest what, exponent, right? Yeah. So let's check it out. Now, just by looking at this, I know that it's probably gonna be 4 for no other reason than the only constant here that's a 6 is choice 4, right? So we already know that, like, for us to get this right, it's not 1, 2, or 3. Now let's just confirm. Looking at this expression itself, by the way, so one of the things I don't want you to do is this. Don't just don't look at this question as if they're asking you what each of these are compared to one another, but rather looking at choice 4 and just look, hey, is that actually true based on this expression itself? Okay, so based on this expression itself, is oh, also fifth degree. I should highlight this stuff. Fifth degree, fifth degree, leading coefficient of 7, constant of 6. So right here, fifth degree, fifth degree, leading coefficient of 7, and a constant of 6. That's it. It's choice 4. Okay, no other choices. All right, number 2. All right, which polynomial has a leading coefficient? Let me highlight all this stuff. Leading coefficient of 4, degree of 3. So let's see which one is true. By the way, these are actually on the region. So there are about 10 questions in the past 7 years. Okay, so let's see. Leading coefficient of 4, leading degree of 3. So I need something that looks something like this, right? Because the degree depends on the leading coefficient and the leading term, right? So it's going to look like 4x, 4, wait, leading coefficient, right? Yep, 4, degree of 3. So it's going to be 4x to the third. One of these terms have to have 4x to the third as the highest power. So this guy has to be first and foremost, okay, if you were to write this in standard form. Now, I'm just going to scan across this. There's no 4x to the third here. Nothing here either, right? Nothing here either, and that's it, right? 4x to the third. That's it, okay? How are we doing on time? I'm going to stop it here, okay? Because yesterday I think we took too much time, so I'm going to give you guys hopefully a shorter break here. So I'm going to stop here, okay? So, yep, come back to class, all right? If you're at home, start working on the Delta Math homework. If you're in the building, all right, we're going to do some more practice right now. Okay, all right, talk to you later. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
OMG, that was so good.